Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of all what's new and happening in the modelling world. How are we doing today, gentlemen? We all good?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you.
And once again, they're with us with slick haircuts
Okay,
because they're on a 2-for-1 offer, clearly.
It's just
Timing.
yeah, well, it wasn't planned. Mine's set for 5 weeks next time, so you might have yours done before me. So
No, 5 weeks. That's
Which is
every
like-
time
has
I
you?
go 5 weeks.
Mine's
that's when
on
I'll
holiday.
put mine back
Mine's
in.
done with 4 weeks, but
I think I'm going to grow mine out. It'll be like Sideshow Bob.
You should.
It's just going to
Should,
keep going.
yeah.
Definitely. Anyway, we're all good. We're all enjoying the weather. It's nice and hot and sunny at the moment, but hopefully you're all doing some modelling still. It tends to be this time of year where everyone's like, sun's out, and then you notice there's always a little bit of a lull. Things go quiet because everybody goes out, and then within 2-3 weeks, everyone's bored of the heat. It's too hot. I'm staying in. I'm going to go back in and do some modelling. So the novelty soon wears off with the summer weather. But it is nice that it's here. Beautiful blue skies, nice and warm. Can't go wrong. Apart from being England, it's going to rain tonight and we're under thunderstorm and lightning warning. So that'll be good. Interesting times ahead.
Flood warnings.
Good warnings. Yeah.
Some parts of the country, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that'll be bad, won't it?
Yeah.
Be snowing next, tornadoes, end of the world apocalypse. It's like a scene from Geostorm. That'll be us. Welcome to England. Summer 2021.
Bake the earth dry and then chuck a load of water over it.
Yeah, that's it. And it just runs straight off. That's it. Straight into the roads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nightmare. Never mind. All good. Anyway, it looks like you've been busy. Some new bits and pieces down in there. What you got?
Yeah, we've had some deliveries coming in. As you can see, we've got some of these back.
Good.
They obviously came and went, and obviously a massive pre-order that we've had on it, but we've got some more secured. So they're now on general sale.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look
Very
at new arrivals, and also we've got the 2 new kinetic boxings. These are older kits, but they've redone them for the, I presume, the proper weapons. I think, is it?
To be honest, I don't
That's
know
got
about it.
GBUs on it. And
Yes.
everything. So that's, like I say, they're Mirage 2000 kit, but it's got different setup on it. And I think also that is as well. They've got proper Israeli weapons on it this time because they've done it. That's the Barak, and they've done the Suffer as well.
Yes.
And obviously you've got the nice.
Does it have different fuel tanks as well on it, or?
Yes, they do. Israeli ones do. They have a slightly different fuel tank system.
Yeah.
So they're in, and we've got in the new arrivals is the Hobby 2000 little Skyhawk, the C1.
Yes.
The Fujimi kit reboxed,
Yes.
which again's a nice little kit.
Yes.
Really nice little kit that is.
Main F-18s are back in stock as well.
Yep.
Right, we've got some more of those in. Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, Cobras as well, which you're building, which you can obviously testify is a fantastic kit, and everybody should buy one.
Absolutely, yes. Although, in true honesty here, it has got a small problem with the door. It doesn't fit. So I have in the video, which will be up on Friday, shown about how to fix that said problem. Again, this is the first time I've ever known ICM to have something like this, where it could be, I assume what it is, it's a fault with the tooling.
Yes.
So it may be one of those ones where it might not be on every kit. I'm not, because I can't imagine that it made it through, bit testing and all things like that with that particular fault on it. But it looks like there's a fault with the tooling, and it hasn't just got the cutout, if you like, to allow for the tab. It's not on it. So what you have to do is just remove it off of here, and then it goes on. It's literally a 2-minute job, and I've shown how to do it as well. So it's one of those ones where with ICM everything tends to go, and no problem at all. But this particular one, it was like, nope, nothing, you're not even close. And then you have a look and you can see the tooling outline of it, but it looks like for whatever reason didn't do it. Very, very small.
So it's not designed just to have it open then, or? Yes.
This one you can have it open. It's got hinges to display this open if you wanted to, but it's just that if you do want to sort of close this one up, it's all still a bit of a loose fit here. But what it is, it's up here on the top. This tab, it should have a little cutout for the backing tab for it to lean against, but it hasn't got it. So consequently, you come along and it won't go. So I've just taken it off, and now it is an absolute perfect fit. But yeah, it does come with hinges on this, so you can actually have it open or closed and all the rest of it, which is quite nice, which does make sense because I do say in the video it's got these little notches and I couldn't work out what it's for, but actually they're the hinges So the hinges lock on, so you can display them open or closed. So again, nice little touch with it. But thoroughly enjoying the build. Typical of ICM. It's very, very straightforward, which is the nice thing to it. Like I've now called them Lidls. They are the Lidls of kits. As in, it's all good stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's not over fancy. They don't make it a fancy way of it going together or an over fancied this, that, and the other onto it. So it's literally like a no frills. But the nice thing is, it all goes together. And literally, as I say, this is all a complete base underneath, you know, a little bit of work just to get that in, but generally it's gone together very, very nicely.
There's no BS, is there?
Yeah, and that is it. I think that's the thing. Some manufacturers, let's face it, they would completely overkill the engine area, which technically most people, you might not even see it. But that then causes fit issues because you've got to make sure it all lines up to squeeze it all in there. And I think that's where many, many manufacturers fall short, is that they put all this fantastic detail in the cockpits and, you know, into the actual engine areas. But on something like this where you've got to fit it all in, if something's not glued down properly and not located in the slot correct and all the rest of it, then you come to put it in, you end up with a massive seam, you know, and then obviously the belly plate wouldn't fit then if it was too far as well, so you'd end up with huge seams. So before you know it, you've got a kit that just doesn't go together because of a few little problems inside, which we've spoken about before. But this thing literally does go, you know, once it all goes through, you get that satisfying little click with it, it all lines up. And to be honest, the base one which goes in here, which I thought may have been a problem because it's so soft, the plastic, it wasn't. It does fit. That's the nice thing to it. So yeah, very good. Like it.
Good.
And as we know, there's lots of versions coming out. I know loads of people are talking about it, but the S-Type, which is the one with a flat armour, it covers a broad spectrum. So we know we've got this one. Pretty soon we've got the late version of it, which you get in the box apart from the guns. So it has pods which go on the skis, which is actually the ammo containers and the guns. So they're on a separate sprue. But everything else, if you wanted to, you could make this a late one as well, but just without the guns on the actual pylons and do it that way. So rocket pods and everything's in there. And I'm expecting to see the flat armoured one as well at some point because it's in that ballpark for it all, which is quite nice.
Was it Alan? Was it Alan who sent me the photos through, and I sent them to you, and you said that was the S, didn't you? The later.
Yeah, it's the S, which is a different.
Yeah, I did send them through too, Phil.
But yeah, that's a different one. But again, it's ICM through and through. Love it. I really do enjoy building ICM kits purely because they are. You get exactly what you're going to get, and it's no frills with it. And if you want to, like I said before, you can go in. So I've added my own harnesses into it. Typical. And obviously, if you wanted to, you could do the engines and the other bits and pieces as well right the way through. So yeah, it is. It's just one of those ones. We like ICM. Good people.
Yeah, they do good subjects as well, though, don't they?
Yeah. They do some very interesting stuff. I did notice they're doing the Konkorski as well.
Yes, I'm sure they've done that before 1144. I've got a feeling that's an older kit of theirs. Unless they've retooled it, I don't know. I'll have to look into that, but I'll think it for Friday because I'm not on tomorrow. If you're turning on tomorrow, for Friday's show, but I'm sure it's an earlier kit of theirs. So I'll do a bit of research anyway. Yes. But yeah, everything else was the Broncos do out soon, isn't it?
Yeah, which really nice as well. That would be a nice one to do. As I say, 48's go.
We'll be building that as well, probably. You're going to have another build schedule this year, aren't you?
I know, that's it.
We're already in June.
Mind you, we're rattling through them quite quickly.
Well,
so it's
well, doing ICM, you can, can't you?
Yeah, that's it. It's the nice thing. Yeah, this is a 2-week build, which is nice because I want to do it for the 60s group build. So I've literally got 2 weeks left. So it's like, there we go. Get that done.
Is that what's left? Is it on the 60s launch? I've done it with my jack, so that's fine. But
yeah, Andy, what have you done for it?
Forget that.
I've done or doing a Cessna.
When was the last time you touched it?
Bird dog.
2 weeks ago.
It's the Skymaster, so you're doing an ICM kit, aren't you?
Yeah, it's an ICM kit. You'll throw that together in a weekend.
The problem is my room that I model in, because it's been so hot, I've had the window open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's absolutely scorching in there.
It is at night, because it comes like, I have it with the shed. Because it's peak of 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Sun's directly on my shed door, and when it does it over 20 odd degrees, it's cooking. It's like I'm in the cooler. Like Steve McQueen.
Yeah, I go up there every night with the intention to do modelling. I get in there thinking,
It's too comfortable, isn't it? And to be honest, I'm well sidetracked because I've got stuff doing at home and the Euros have started, so I've been watching the football. So it's like,
I watched France and Germany.
I'm having a bit of a break at the minute from modelling. I ain't done anything. I ain't touched nothing since.
Yeah, interesting match last night.
Since last week. I didn't even touch it because I had good intentions for yesterday, but obviously we're running around sorting car stuff out. That day went out the window. So tomorrow, I'll see what I can get done tomorrow. But yeah. So anyway, going back to what we've got in, snips. Now, obviously, we've had a restock of our trumpeter snips, scrapers, whatever else we've got in.
Yes.
Tools. But we've also managed to secure the advanced ones this time. So these are the display ones, but we think these ones.
Yes.
Which are
the new version of the display ones, they call them the 0.3, is it?
I don't know if that's
version 3, which is.
Or these version 2, I've got no idea.
Or version 2, I can't remember now.
Yeah, it doesn't say version number on these because it's their own.
Yeah.
Rather than being the display ones, aren't they? But they're probably. Apart from Godhand,
they are nice. I've been using them on my bids.
Yeah,
and I quite like them.
Not the cheapest ones in the world, but probably as good as you're going to get. Apart from Godhand, and you can't get Godhand, so
yeah,
yeah, as good as you're going to get.
So yeah,
again, like we've often said, it is that thing. I have been using all the way through this one the Mr. Hobby ones.
Yes.
Because they just do the job. Sorry, Master Tool ones.
Yeah.
And for the money, there's not much of an upgrade to those ones, and then those ones aren't much of an upgrade to the actual Godhand ones, but they all have their little part into it. So like my Godhand ones, I think like most of us have said, they are quite delicate and fragile. Yes. They don't like cutting hard things and certainly don't like big things, so you tend to use them for the tiny little parts, so you haven't got to do much cleanup, and then you have got it, and there is, I think, between all three of these, they're really good. As you say, if you can afford it and you want to do lots of really delicate stuff, then probably Godhand will be a godsend for you. But as I say, the display ones, or as you say, the main ones down in there, those ones are absolutely not that far off of Godhands, but they're not quite there. And as I say, even the Mr. Hobby cheapy ones, they're really good for general stuff like I've been using on here. But each one of them, it just leaves a little bit more of a peg from where you cut it. So obviously Godhand, I think this is something like 0.7 or whatever it is they say it is, and then obviously these and then these, but to be honest, they've come a long way from old days.
I think the Master Tool ones are an ideal starter set of snips for somebody who don't obviously don't want to invest into like 50-60 quid or whatever the expensive ones cost you, and they're a good solid starter set of which I think is the line of all the Master Tools as well.
Yes. Yeah.
The scrapers are second to none. I think the scrapers are brilliant.
Yeah.
But some of the other stuff as well, because we've also got in is some flat nose long pliers. Now you think, they're just a set of pliers, but actually these are smooth. Because obviously I've got them in my toolbox out there, but mine are all tooth.
Yeah, they've all got ridges down them. Yeah.
And these ones, cause I'm just saying to Andy. So if you want some bending pliers, obviously you've got the Tamiya bending ones, which you can't get for love nor money anymore.
Well, I still think they're better than the long nose Tamiya bending ones.
Yeah, I don't like them anyway. I prefer these. I think the short nose ones are fine, but these again, I don't think they're very expensive, and they're probably a good, like I say on here for bending, photo etch, and all the other stuff you can do with them. I think they're just ideal, just having your toolkit really.
Joe, going back to the trumpeter snips. We've just had a large restock of them, and apologies to there's a couple of people that had ordered them last week, and we were expecting the order to come in sooner than it did, but they've all gone out,
and they'll be out today.
Yeah,
will be posted out to you today, so we're back in stock and jibby jobby. There you go.
This one, we were expecting the order to come in quicker than it did.
Yeah.
So they've all now gone out.
Yes.
To the people that were waiting for them.
But again, as we were saying there, it's like 16 quid for a pair of these. Honestly, if you haven't got something like these, as in single blade ones, buy these. because, as I say, you'll fall in love with them, and then obviously if you are a guy who does, or a modeler who does a lot of really delicate stuff, then perhaps you probably want to upgrade to some of the other stuff as well, because you just, the cleanup wise, that's the beauty with these, there's hardly any cleanup. I think I remember rightly when I built the Millennium Falcon, the Bandai one, I used the display snips with it, and I didn't even do cleanup. Because they're that close, you can literally what Bandai's like. It's pretty clicky and it goes in. And I don't think I even did much cleanup, because they are that close that you can get away with it and just snip, and then just put it together.
Just to reiterate, they are the same as the
main ones, and it's just a Reeboks of display.
So
he said, look,
it says display on it.
Yeah, they even got display logo on them and everything. So, but yes,
and also.
And then last off but not least is AK's extra thin glue.
Yes.
Okay? Now we normally stock Tamiya, obviously extra thin quickset and all that, but at the minute there's a bit of a dry spell, shall we say, of actually getting any of it in, and also with the Mr. Cement S, which is the normal alternative. So after we did an AK order, we thought we'd get some in for stock. Smelling it smells very similar. It looks very similar. I'm not saying it is. I'm not want to go down that road.
Okay, let's say it's the same bottle exactly. It's the same lid. It's the same brush.
Not exactly, because it says AK on the bottom of it instead of having a Tamiya logo.
Yeah, but it's the same bottle.
Yeah.
And it's the same lid. It's the same design. It's just different coloured lids and different labels, obviously. And obviously one says on the glass underneath as well. But we think, doing a sniff test, because they were sniffing it before we came on air, it's the same.
They're very similar.
That's why we've got glazed.
Let's put it that way as a disclaimer. They're very similar.
That's why we've got glazed eyes, because we've been sniffing it.
But, if you're in a fix and obviously you're struggling to get extra thin, like you would use this as obviously an alternative, and it'll do the job. It's AK. It'll do the job.
It's
Is it one of those where if I was to tip that into a Tamiya bottle, you couldn't tell?
Yeah, probably. It's slightly more expensive than Tamiya, but that's not our fault. That's just
how it
retail
is,
price of
it?
it.
But if you need some, then we're stocking it as well. And obviously we're having a restock of the glue, super glue, black glue, magnet, eraser, and all those things. So one box has turned up. We wait for the other box to turn up with all the paints on and all the other bits. So yeah, we're getting there. Also, what's coming as well, literally, by the time this show goes out, it will be in and in stock, is Mr. Hobby stuff. So thinners, paint, primers, what they've got in. I think we've got some tools back in. Yeah. Again, you'll just have to keep an eye out on the site of what's back in. What else we've got coming in?
Hands.
Yeah, we've got a stock order coming in. Oh, Great Wall Hobbies. We're in a restock of that, and that'll be tomorrow. And also, that will include the pre-order for the B52, the 114 B52.
The Love Shack. Oh no, wrong one.
Oh yeah, wrong one. So,
but yes,
again, I put this order in last year, so what's actually coming in and I've ordered, I can't remember, so we'll see. It's going to be a bit of a surprise. I don't know what we've ordered, but yeah. So we are literally out of Great Wall pretty much. We've only got a little bit left.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be restocking a lot of this, but as I say, we're not 100% what is on the container yet, so.
No,
I don't think even the supplier knows what's on the container yet.
No.
What turns up, and there's also Ryfield as well. He's had Ryfield back in, so we might be getting a restock of bits and bobs of them, even though we've got some in. So yeah, it's all go again at the minute. It's good.
It is picking up again. Very nice.
Yeah, still filtering through. Also, we've put a few new pre-orders up. Obviously, some's closed because some's gone out. The shuttles are closed. We've closed the shuttle one. That will now just go to a stock item. But we've had some Hobby 2000 stuff, I think, on the pre-order that Andy's put up yesterday, which, again, is a nice kit because that has the gal box in.
Yes.
In 48, which, again, has been really quite difficult to get hold of and gone up in price. So they did the little, which was the old Dragon kit not long ago, in 72nd, and now they've upscaled to the 48th Hasegawa kit.
But we're only running that till the...
Yeah, we've got to get there until next Monday, really, yeah. So if you do want one, if you're a member, Flory member, get your name down ASAP, because that is going to be closed for Monday, and we'll be passing that on to our supplier.
Did that aircraft ever see operational use?
Yes.
No.
Limited, I think. Did it? I think it did. But they didn't really have a lot of fuel at the time. I think it did. Watch it, they'll be all over the thing now. No, it did.
Yeah, they're off the jet. I don't know, because I know the aircraft, because I remember the kit, original one as well,
Yeah.
and it's quite an interesting aircraft. It's very sleek, isn't it, and very modern, especially by its age and that. I just don't know if it ever went operational at any point.
Fly did a 32nd one, didn't they?
Yeah.
With the resin engine.
Yeah, I was going to say it had all the resin, wasn't it, on that one?
I tell you what, you need to ask Nathan tomorrow. He's the Luftwaffe man, isn't he?
Yes.
He's Mr. Luftwaffe.
Yeah.
Should we say that?
We've got a pre-order for a Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an iconic aeroplane. We've actually, there's a really, really old kit of that from Williams Brothers, if I remember rightly, did it a long, long time ago. So, it got quite extensively used in World War II, that did. Because everybody builds a Dakota, don't they?
Yeah.
But that's obviously a lot bigger from what I can gather.
It's more chunky. It's got a massive tail. Didn't they used to suffer with trouble because of crosswinds on this thing? Because it's got a huge tail on it, isn't it?
I wouldn't know, to be honest, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, but they used a lot in the Pacific, weren't they? For ferrying stuff around
Buffalo
the island.
Air still fly one, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do actually. Yeah,
I think they've still got one.
Yeah.
So,
again, interesting subject.
definitely, especially something you don't. As you say, it's not. You don't see it at all. You go around shows and that you don't really see them. So
yeah.
Again, good for Valen because they do stuff that's left field, Valen.
Yes.
So
F-14s, obviously we've got them back in, or got them coming back in.
Yeah, that's been
popular again.
popular, yeah.
To say we did a pre-order before, so they obviously changed the box art, but yeah, we've now got a source of AMK.
Yeah, so fingers crossed, because obviously AMK dried up, didn't it? We did our pre-order and they vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people saying are they even still going, but luckily we have found a source for them. So hopefully it become a stock item in the future now. But I like the way they've changed the box art, because the other box art was awful. So at least it's got decent one. It's got pencil, as he's known, Felix one.
Yeah.
So yeah, very nice, very good.
We've put the F-14 and the special edition MiG 31s up for pre-order. We will be getting the rest of the stock in, the
normal MiG 31s, the Kafias, the Delphin, the Forga Magister they do, and obviously the 72nd Kafir and Delphin as well.
Yeah, we'll get them back in.
Said I don't know how many times the little Delphin's just great. You really need to build one of them.
Yeah, I know you guys also. It's a lovely kit
because it's got brilliant schemes, and you don't need to do anything to it, do you? You can.
On mine, I put
tube on it.
Yeah, and some resin intakes and bits on it. Quick boost bits and bobs on it.
I think
it didn't need it to be honest with you.
I think when I built mine, the only thing I put in was seats, but it came with them because I bought it off somebody second hand or swapped it. I did a trade with somebody. It was already in the box. So I thought, well, while they're there, I'll use it. But I don't think it actually needs anything.
I'd say it's probably the best kit I've ever built, thinking about it.
It's got to be up there in the top one.
Cool. I have to say, what the big thing about this kit though, the Tomcat, is the price. It's 50 quid.
We are getting them as well, the AMK for better prices as well from before.
But I think that the great thing about that is that when you look at Tamiya, just sub 100 quid.
Yeah.
If you're going to go back to school, I've got one down there, the old Hasegawa kit, then they're about 75, 80 quid.
Yeah.
So I know I knocked it last time, a few little things with it and everything else, but now you're into that range where the price factor and value for money, that makes that probably the go-to kit.
I'm thinking that obviously not this year, but next year I think you should build one.
Yeah.
But then you can put it side by side with your Tamiya one as a comparison.
Yeah.
I know they're completely different kits and it's not kind of fair to compare, but you know what I mean? Obviously the big hoo-ha when this was dragging on and on to be released and Tamiya goes umptum and all that lot. But it would be nice to see
how it goes and all that. To be honest, I'm intrigued to see how that would go together and everything else as well.
And obviously you've built an AMK Kafir, haven't you? The little one. I don't think you've ever built anything else AMK, have you? I know John's built the 48th AMK Kafir. We both built a Dolphin.
Both of them Dolphins.
And again, I think apart from you had a few issues with the undercarriage on the 72nd one weren't stellar, was it?
Yeah, it was a bit.
But I think when John was building the 48th Kafir, he said it was fantastic. And obviously building the Dolphins as we've done, we can vouch for them. So it will be interesting to see how that goes together. And I think people who's built MiG-31s have said it's been a great kit. It's gone together.
Well,
So
Phil's on the MiG-31, hasn't he?
no, you've never built MiG-31, have you? You've built the...
No, I did the ICM MiG-25.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. But I mean, when you think at like I said, 50 quid.
Yeah. In this day and age.
But when
in this day, what do you get for 50 quid? That's the thing.
it. How much is the Hobby Boss one?
50 quid, I think. It's got to be around 50 quid.
It is, I think it's $49.99.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. That, to be honest, we spoke about this before, but it was like 50 quid. Is that right? Because I thought it'd be 75 quid. I thought it'd probably be sub Tamiya, because most things are, but I didn't expect it to be like that. But when you put that up against the chain of them, as say, even if you're looking at Hobby Boss, say 45 quid on the Hobby Boss one, and then obviously, you get a double the kit for that. Because obviously that thing's got all, as we know, the wing fold and obviously the slaps and flats, and the detail is a lot more than anything you're going to find in the Hobby Boss one. And then that thing is probably more detailed, as we know, than the Hasegawa kit. And the Hasegawa kit is now, 30 years old?
At least, isn't it?
At least. And, they've been kicking that thing out with new decals for centuries. And it's like still 75, 80 quid on the retail on that. But again, that for 50 quid has to be a complete bargain. As you say, I think it's just one of those ones which was actually really seems very, very fair, to the point it seems cheap. But
too cheap.
There we go. Too cheap.
Yeah,
definitely. I think we'll put the price up.
Again,
we'll edit this. 75.
yeah. Now 80 quid.
Yeah, that's it. But no, I think it's an absolutely beautiful kit. Very nice.
Again, I know we obviously did a pre-order on this a year or so ago, I reckon, wasn't it, at least, because we've had them in for a long time. But if people are interested, we'll put it up again. Like I say, it's going to be October. We have put the date, so people are going to be asking. It should be probably end of October, but we obviously need some sort of figures of what we're going to order in. And again, that one comes with all sorts of goodies.
Yeah,
with
it comes with 3D printed parts, which is
new.
New. Yeah, it does say, which is confusing, and we're not sure it's lost in translation. It says it comes with 3D printed undercarriage. Now, what
that entails
is it just wheels, or is it actually the full undercarriage? Isn't really,
because the other version of that came with white metal undercarriage, didn't it? They did an upgrade for it.
I've got the.
So I've got it might have that in it, the upgraded.
So it might be worth us. We'll whip the box open to find out exactly what is in that.
Yeah.
So, but yes, again, another stellar kit, very, very nice right the way through. So, well, let's hope old AMK are coming back to life, because they did dry up for over a year, 2 years. So let's see. If we get their F111 they were going to do, and obviously a Buccaneer they were going to do.
No, that was TAM model, different company.
TAM model, wasn't it? Sorry, yeah.
No, this is AMK. I don't know what they were on about doing an Albatross. The L39.
Yeah.
But they've gone very quiet, so hopefully they're going to be resurrected and start
pushing again,
doing some new tooled stuff and get back on it, because they all go alright. They all good kits.
Yes, definitely.
So that's it for pre-orders at the minute. When everything else comes in that's interesting, we'll get it back up.
Yes, cool. Right, so we pop on with questions.
Yes, let's do.
Okay, first up, Scott says, afternoon chaps, another great delivery from the PM team. The Volkswagen Camper arrived today. Really nice looking kit and packaged, rammed full box. There we go. That's what you want.
It is.
So they're all in and done now, isn't it? The Camper pre-order ones. Tartan Army, as I called them.
They were last week. Yeah.
Yes. Peter says, hi PM team, I was looking at the PM store recently online from America and noticed the 72nd scale Tornado Desert Babe for sale, and was wondering if it's the Revel 72nd kit but in a different box. The kit comes with modern looking RAF pilots. No. I presently have the Revel GR1 in 72nd, but it has no pilots. I went online to find out I went online to find out they'd sold them on a site called Hannants, but they're out of stock. Presumably everybody with the PM. It's the same kit. It's a rebox. It's what Edard do. They rebox other people's. They do their own kits, but it's that thing. So it's a GR1 kit, but like we said, the GR1 kit is more expensive than that. And with that, you get the decals and all the resin bits and the various things to it. So that's the better way to do it. if you're just after that kit. Obviously, markings wise, different ones, because this is all the desert ones, so it comes in the desert pink with all the markings for the 8 jets. So
But for what you get, it's a bargain.
it is a bargain, absolutely. Yeah.
They could have charged
30 quid.
30, 35 quid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got £22, couldn't they?
Yes. Or £22.20.
Yeah.
Well, I did actually pre-read this question, and I just did a Google for modern RAF pilots,
PJ Productions.
and Hannets are in stock of them.
There you go. PJ Productions, a little resin, and they are nice little 70-second pilot figures.
If you just Google it, and then one of the things will come up as Hannets, and it will just take you straight to the product rather than trying to search on Hannets for it. But
yeah,
they definitely are in stock on Hannets.
And before he asks, we don't stock PJ Productions. No.
Okay, Steve says, hi, question for the PM guys. Are orders shipped out the same day if you have stock? The reason I'm asking, I've been trying to support other model company who shall not be named, but I find that it takes several days to ship something, even when it's only a small paint order, but wanted to know if I'm better off supporting someone like PM. Absolutely. I have ordered off also who seem to get things out quicker. I know it's a bit of a dodgy question, but I thought I'd ask anyway.
It is, because we want names.
Yes, name and shame these companies.
We will not answer until we know who it is. No.
We've just literally changed the way we do postage this week.
We're now in the 21st century.
Yeah, we've now gone upgraded. We're digital now.
We are proper on it.
We used to have to chuck it all in the back of Matt's BMW, drive down to the post office, chuck it in the post office.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chore.
So now we do actually get all our postage picked up by Royal Mail. Our postage cut-off daily is about 1 o'clock, because we have to make sure it's all processed before they come and pick it up. There is a bit of leeway, depends on where. Yeah, we've still got some to do, and it's a couple. Yeah, we've got a bit later.
No, but if we say 1 o'clock is cut off, because it gets picked up at 2 o'clock every day. The pickup's 2 o'clock every day. So we say 1 o'clock, so that gives us then to do all the manifests and all the other bits we've got to do, and we know it's ready for them to pick up.
So if you've ordered by lunchtime that day, it should go out the same day.
Yeah.
If not, it'll go out the following day. Slight caveats are that some days, especially Tuesdays and Thursdays, depending on how much Matt's got on, because I don't come to the shop on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sometimes possibly might not go out Tuesdays and Thursdays, but he does try and get as much out as he can.
Yeah, the big thing is, I think, obviously, we only have, normally, unless there's been a stock error, which occasionally does happen, but literally, what you see on the site is what we've got in stock. We've had a massive stock take recently and all the rest of it. So unless there's a stock error, and it can happen because sometimes obviously it gets put on the system wrong, or it's been picked wrong or something else like that, it can slip. But obviously everything you see is what we've actually got. That's why we do the pre-orders. The pre-orders is something completely separate. But generally, if it's on the site and it says it's in stock, we've actually got it. So not like other sites who say they've got it and then put the order in after.
For example, the trumpeter snips, for some reason, our stock levels were showing higher than we actually ever had. We still don't know why. We do think that we'll pull a box out sometime and find the box.
We lost somewhere upstairs.
Lost the box.
It doesn't make sense why we're so far out.
One or two. I think every sort of company gets it now and again. Do you know what I mean? There is picking errors. It does happen, and obviously, stuff like that, or. Something's damaged, whatever. How much stock we carry is going to happen. It's a warehouse kind of scenario we run. But everything pretty much like he was asking, we try and get it out within a day.
Yes.
As in which,
Yeah, all orders processed within 24 hours.
Yeah, and we're going to put a thing up on the main site now to say what the criteria is now. We're on a pick up from the post office, blah, blah, blah. So, but we're all good. It's nice. It's nice to be doing it. So.
Yes, definitely.
Well then.
Okay, Richard said, my Desert Babe arrived today. Thanks, chaps. I can't believe how small and fiddly a 72nd models are after doing 48 scale for so long. Yes.
Very true.
It is. It's true. It does seem a bit weird when you're going down like that.
Compact, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. In some ways, I think it's quite nice, as I say, because you're working in a confined area.
Yeah.
When you're doing big stuff, you've got wings over there, fuselage there, you've got all the bits, sub-assemblies over there, and then you have your work area. But when you have a small jet, you just have it there and the bits here. And, it is quite nice having cars. That's why I like doing armour, because it's small. You're not taking up everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian says, ICM Tiger Moth in 1/32. High PM Models Help Desk. Oh, look. Did you need a jingle for that?
Yeah, you do. Where's your sound effects?
Yeah, I need an effect for typewriters and things. I'll get that later. Right, okay. Except for marking options, which are not very inspiring, do you know why there are no aftermarket decal sheets available? Hannets only does one. Boring Dutch. Christ, don't say boring to the Dutch, you get lynched. And some even more boring mast sets. Ooh. There should be a lot more interesting schemes to choose from. Is the release still too recent for the decal companies to do them yet? Sometimes it can be. It takes a little bit of time to go through. Or is it just not an interesting aircraft? Keep up the great show.
I did actually Google it. I had a look on Hannons to see what they've got, and he is right. They're just yellow Dutch.
It's
all that's on there.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, but don't forget that Revell did the 32nd one for decades.
The Matchbox one.
Matchbox one.
Yeah.
So you would have thought there'd be more out for that one.
Yeah.
I did a Google for it, and I think there was a company called Silver Wings
Yeah.
that did a nice silver and red one that looked nice, but they're not available on Hannons. You just need to Google it rather than go into Hannons, because obviously Hannons only stock what they stock.
Yeah.
If you Google it, you will find others. Now, whether or not they're still in production, because I say the monogram at Revell one has been out for decades, so they might be out of production if you find them.
That's the thing. You've got to think with decals, they go out of production. They do a run of them.
They do a run,
and
yeah.
then they go out, and then unless they do a reprint, that's it. They get so many thousand, or however many they get printed off, and then once they've sold out, they move on to something else and something else and blah blah blah. So again, the other thing is, you remember, why don't you just put it up to see if anybody's got any? They might have some.
You never know.
Again, it depends what you're after. It is a Tiger Moth.
At
the end of the day.
Yeah.
When I almost did the Revell one, I wanted a Pacific aircraft for my dad that my dad had flown in, and I just ended up printing the mine off myself.
Yeah.
It was just a standard silver aircraft with yellow bands on it, trainer bands, and RAF font, numbers on it. So I just did it myself. But if you want something completely special, just Google it.
It's a shame, because the Airfix kit came with some nice markings in it anyway, the 72nd one, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, the same second one does, yeah.
And, it's to say, perhaps it may be that it will filter through, somebody will do some...
Yeah. And you can get some, if you go on Tannants, you can get some really nice same second ones. 32nd just
48.
seems... 48 you can get some decent ones as well, but 32nd just seems to be a bit sparse.
You have to hang on to see if anybody jumps on it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being bombarded by a blue bowl flying around in here.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody pointed out the microphone was very sensitive because I could hear it flying around last week. It's like it's making a weekly appearance.
Is it?
That was a dive bombing me the other week.
yeah, that was funny, that was. Okay, Gordon says, hi guys, I only build post-war jets and some sci-fi, but a friend, that old chestnut, really likes the AH-64 Apache. As I have not built any helicopters, I am a reasonably competent modeller. Would you recommend the size and cost, for instance, doesn't matter? Okay, so which one will we going for? I know I can get the Academy kits fairly easy.
The little Academy 7-second ones are good.
Yeah.
You reviewed it, didn't you? They're a good solid kit. And really, I suppose if you go with 48, it's the Asagao one. Yeah?
Didn't Academy do a 35th one?
No. I reboxed it. That's an old kit from don't bother with that.
Again, it's a little bit of a minefield, because are you talking about an H-64 Apache or the Longbow Apache? Because that's a totally different beast. There's different versions of them. Casual glance, they all look the same, but actually there's not. There's quite big beefy differences with the helicopters and things like that. So if you're not, it doesn't really matter. The Hasegawa one in 48th wasn't a bad kit.
No.
And there's plenty of aftermarket available for that as well. I built the Academy 48th scale one back in the day as well. And to be honest, I wish I built the Hasegawa one because it's better detail to it.
Didn't Revelry box one?
It's Italy's. Italy released, but they're all early ones anyway.
Yeah, they are. They're all the A.
I don't think they're brilliant.
I built that and it was horrible.
Again, the Hasegawa 72nd one's really old.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd go for that. I think, to be honest, like the Academy 72nd ones are good, the newer ones, and probably the Hasegawa 48th.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, that's where I'd go. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, again, it's strange because it's such a widely used helicopter.
Yeah.
And, and all the rest of it. And it's been around a while now, but it's actually quite underrepresented. It's, there isn't many of them around. So.
Coming to you soon from ICM.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they're going to do.
It won't be a bad thing, would it?
Would it?
Can you imagine if they tackled it? It'd be brilliant.
It would be a good kit. If ICM did it, that's it now.
Yeah.
Carlos says, "Hi gang, I was wondering what Matt would recommend as far as basic starter set and tools, brushes for doing figure painting. Also, with the advent of 3D printing, have you thought about doing a future tutorial on preparing resin and painting resin 3D figures?"
Well, I've got one here, a smaller one. So whether, when I get round to doing it, like I say, at the minute I'm on sabbatical, I'm not doing anything. So I'm on my summer holidays of not doing anything because of other things at the minute. What I'll do for Friday is I'll get a thing together of what I use, basics of what would be good, like paintbrushes and scrapers and snips,
Paint palette.
a paint palette for a wet palette and all that sort of stuff. So if you tune in for Friday show, watch Friday show. If you can't watch it live, I'll get the little bit together, because obviously as well I am at some point doing this guy.
Yeah.
And obviously you'll see what I'm going to be using then, because I'm doing it on video anyway, so you can go back and watch the vid. So might even get on with him tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean the prepping of the resin, once you've cleaned it, it's just the same as plastic. Isn't it?
It's exactly the same. It's just putting it in IPA in it and degreasing it really. So, but yeah, we'll go through it. No problem.
Cool. Peter says, "Hi guys, I'd like to know if the PM store also owns High Altitude Hobbies."
But let's cut this. I've pre-read this question. Let's cut this one down. No, it's nothing to do with PM, Flory, or anybody else to do with anything that we do.
Peter, High Altitude Hobbies, which is owned by Brett, who's also a member of the site, so you can get hold of him via direct as well, is its own entity. They are simply a stockist of Flory Models range. We have no thing over them whatsoever.
At all.
No influence whatsoever. So, as I say, Brett will probably hear this and read this, and I'm sure he will be in touch, because Brett can be usually found on the live shows on Thursday night. He's always in chat.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's busy at the moment with other stuff, but he's definitely there. So, and we've got, obviously, from Flory's point of view, obviously we've got PM Models, is a link in, because obviously me and Matt are co-owners of PM Models. Obviously that's how that works. But as far as things like High Altitude Hobbies, they are simply a stockist. We've got a brand new European distributor who's also a member of the site, and they will be taking on distribution as well as stockist and everything else like that, hopefully at the end of the month. So various things, but we have no control over these people. It's nothing to do with us. It's literally Flory Models and PM Models. Obviously there's the huge overlap between the two, so that's how that works.
Brett's just bought a new car, so he's probably trying to find petrol stations to
Okay, Aid says, "Hello all. Now that we have a trade deal with Oz, will there be a restock of Horizon models, and will they cost less in the future?" I love the way everyone thinks when you get a trade deal, the price is going to drop.
Yeah.
Why would that even change?
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. Yeah, trade deals doesn't suddenly mean you get stuff put out. It's just tariffs might change. That's all it is.
Australian asking if it's going to be cheaper to them, or
no? I think that's someone in here, but no. Again, it's one of those things. I think trade deals you take with a pinch of salt. We've got one with Japan, and that hasn't changed. I'm
sure somebody's asked that question as well, haven't they, before?
Yeah, we've had it back.
Will Tamiya now be cheaper because we've got a trade deal with Japan? Nope. Because cost of shipping and cost of it's still...
But also the thing is, trade deals normally work on the tariffs that are being brought in on products. But each tariff that there may be, that's how that gets worked out with the trade deal. So it doesn't mean they automatically all become zero tariff. There still may be tariffs on certain things anyway. It's just that, it may be at a slightly reduced rate. But again, a lot of them, there may be zero on some ways and then difference on others and various things. I know they're on about cars and that are going to be the big thing, aren't they?
Yeah, so Australians might get Land Rovers slightly cheaper, but
yeah, that's good.
Hey, what cars do we make?
Yeah, Britain's. Yeah, that's a good point.
An Austin Allegro. Where's that come from? Do we get back though? Do we get a Holden V8 Super Duper?
Yeah, that'll do.
Type car back.
Yeah, can I have a Ute?
Hey, and the steering wheel's on the proper side with the Australians
It
as well.
is, yeah. At least they drive on the right side.
Ooh. Well, they have pickups.
Left side. But...
They have proper pickups as well, don't they?
All right, they drive on the correct side, not the right side. As in the correct as in the right side.
They drive on the right side, but it's the left side.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So yeah, they do some nice pickups and stuff as well. But yeah, so I wouldn't hold your breath on all of this because don't forget, our importer that we know with Horizon Hobbies and stuff like that, those things won't change and all the rest of it. And trade deals, as I said, unless you are into exporting and importing cars or lamb or beef or whatever they're on about as well with it down this part, sheep as well, I think that's it. For our side of things, I don't think it will change that much.
The biggest expense is shipping, isn't it?
It's a long way from here to Australia, isn't it? It's not exactly round the corner, is it?
No.
It's a big...
And obviously don't forget as well is that Horizon Models, if they have their injection moulding done in China, then they'll have the injection moulding tariff into probably Australia, which there will be one involved, and then they've got to pass all of this on somewhere down the line. So again, it's this thing where people often talk about, oh well, it's cheap because it's there, but if the product is made somewhere else and then it's brought in, even if it's repackaged and done, there's still tariffs moving around. So
hey, well, do a bit of digging about Horizon Models because I'm going to see said people tomorrow. He's got them in. We can stock them in, and I'll see if we. Yeah, I know he deals with him to see where they actually are manufactured. If they are manufactured in Oz or he does outship to somewhere else, I don't know. I don't know much about them.
Say he might not even get them from Australia.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know much about the company, to be honest. So it'll be nice. We'll find out again. We'll drop that in for Friday. And then I can have a rant on Friday. I'm going on a rant, I reckon. On
it's
Friday.
like Airfix, isn't it? It's a UK company, so you presume it's in UK, but
it's not. It comes from but it's tooled somewhere else, and it's
it's distributed from the UK. That's about it.
Yeah,
I mean, just the price of kits thing, and the price of the hobby is a Friday, definitely a Friday chat, and not a PM chat. But I think we ought to cover it because it comes up a hell of a lot, and and I think we ought to cover it. I think it's a good subject to have a rant about.
I do as well. I've touched on it as well because obviously that's why companies go bust, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, don't take in the consideration now. I'm this side of the fence, so to speak.
Yeah.
Of a lot more knowing of our stuff, the costs basically of
manufacturing costs and
bringing
things.
It in and all the other stuff that goes on tops of it, and it all got to get factored in, isn't it? So we'll have a chat about it Friday.
We will have a full chat. I've got an interesting one, the way that I've got a plastic tax coming in a couple of years for the plastic bottles that I use, so we're going to get taxed 20% plastic tax. People never think of stuff like this, so
no, do they?
It's interesting things.
Yeah.
So will that just wait on that? Will that affect plastic models?
Yeah.
It could do.
I would have thought.
I don't know. Because I don't manufacture kits, I don't know how that works. But in the UK, there's a plastic tax coming in a couple of years, and it's going to put a tariff of like 20% on all plastics. So like my bottles, the wash, unless they're made of a certain percentage of recycled material, that then there will be a tax on it. It's to stop you using virgin plastic. That's what they're trying to do. So we got a plastic tax coming down the line, and again, it's a bit of a thing, and it's some ways why we change bottle shape as well. So our new bottles contain X, Y, and Z of different recycled materials in them to get away with it. But at the moment, it looks like we're still going to get caught because they're really screwing down on it. So, which is a good thing. It stops us using virgin plastic. So it's something to do with the percentage of the material you're using. If it's not recycled plastic into it, that there will be a plastic tax on it. So I don't know how much recycled material goes into styrene. Not a lot, I wouldn't have thought.
Hey, wonder if the inventor of plastic really thought what would be in. Nah, you know what I mean? Because obviously, you know, and you could say that for other inventions. Again, this is probably more of a Friday chat than today, but it's interesting. Isn't
Well, it's
it?
a bit like the guy who made the atomic bomb, wasn't it? He said, "I've now become the destroyer of worlds." I bet the guy who did plastics doing a better job.
Probably.
But I can't imagine he thinking, "I'm now become the destroyer of worlds" when he made plastic, can he, out of oil and
No.
No, but again, you know, that of inventing things, you know, it is, isn't it, for the bigger picture of it that you've.
Yes.
Whereas Oppenheimer, was it, who did the atomic bomb?
I can't remember now.
Don't know.
Can you insert that bit? Can you insert that bit into the?
Yeah, I'll edit that in so it looks like we're knowledgeable. Clearly.
Mate, Wikipedia page.
Anyway, James says, "Hi Phil and Deep. Okay, will you be getting in the gas patch models 148 scale ME163B Comet on a pre-order or into stock?"
Unfortunately, we've got no thing with gas patch at all. We can't get gas patch kits, which is a bit annoying because they do some decent stuff. I don't even know who the importer is. I'll be honest, I've got no idea who the UK importer is for gas patch. Not a tube of glue. Might have to do a bit of research. Andy will do some research and find out who it is. But I know who does bring it in. We don't get full trade on it, so might have to look into gas patch because they do a lot. I think they do a lot of aftermarket, don't they? I know they do that. Oh God, what's the Luftwaffe aeroplane that? I can't think what it's called. My mind's gone blank. Italy released it for Henschel, little fighter thing.
Yes, yeah.
I can't think what the number is on it, but they do that in 48, which is a nice kit. And obviously, if they're doing the little, mind you, it will be tiny in 48, won't it? A Comet is tiny in 32nd. It's not a big. It's not a big aircraft. To be honest with you, I'd go for the 32nd Meng one because it's not big.
No, that's right.
But it's you know.
Or the 48s. No, they didn't do a Comet, did they? They did the thing, didn't they? The Horton.
Yeah.
48. Yeah.
This one here, Keith's done a question here, and he's talking about using silver oils. I think you've misinterpreted. I didn't use that on this kit. He's basically saying on the Mondays one, I used AK silver oil. I didn't. I used, and I showed it because there's even a picture of it. I used, just the normal, the normal buffable. Which one was it? Aluminium, which is Mr. Metal Colour.
218.
Yeah, 218.
Yeah.
Because I just have a brush full of it at all times, which is here. So I never clean this brush, you see. So it's got some left over. So I use it for doing like a metallic scrub round stuff. So I haven't actually used their oils. That said, though, following on, he's basically saying, I assume by using Abteilung silver oil, I didn't know they even did it. I bet that'd be quite good.
Yeah, they do gold. They do right.
Yeah, they do them. I know because I went and checked.
I'll tell you what. To be honest with you, because they're oils and it's a gift that they'll be dry brush.
Keeps giving, yeah,
they
absolutely.
Dry brush, fantastic. To be honest.
As I say, your only trouble if you're using oils on that thing, if you're going to go and use like I did then, is like an oil wash. It will eat it, so because it'll go. But I tell you what, Keith, I'll do. I'll get Matt to send me down a tube of AK silvery things, and I'll have a play with it because I think that would be mega for dry brushing. Because it will just keep going, and it dries within no time at all, being a dry brush. So,
no, once you've got the oil out of it, again, put on your bit of cardboard or
let it leach out and then go for it.
Like get pure pigment, it'll be a fantastic dry brush medium.
Yes. So what I'll do is, when I see the guys, I'll get them to send me down some oil, silver oil, and we'll give it a whirl. Because I've got that wax stuff, but that's different.
That's no.
It's the old buff and rub stuff. That's not the same. So I will get some sent down, and I will have a play and an experiment with it.
You know that rub and buff stuff though? Can't you dry brush with that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. No, you can do with it as well.
It never dries.
It never dries. It's sticky.
Yeah.
If you handle your model, like if you've dry brushed, say a cockpit, and then you do it, and then look at your hand, it's giving, and then you touch the model. It's I hate
it's a bit like your Mustang, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just years.
Yeah, it's always on your hands.
You're always covered, and I presume then you could seal it, but then you're defeating the object.
Yeah, you lose the effect of it.
The metallic. So
yes.
Yeah, I'll dig some out, mate. That silver paint. Watch it.
But no, we'll get some sent down and we'll have a play with it because actually, I read your question and thought that's not how I did it, but it makes good sense.
Yeah.
So,
Would have been a good idea if you'd had it.
yeah, it'd been a brilliant idea if I'd done it.
Yeah.
So we'll get some in and we'll have a play with that.
Yeah.
Hey, I bet being oil, the pigment's quite fine on that silver.
Yes.
So cool. That's it then.
So, very good. There we go. That's today's questions. All sorted and done.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Well, if we're all done then, gentlemen, we'll call it quits just there. Thank you very much for joining us today. Absolute pleasure as always. Don't forget, you can get all the usual stuff at the actual PM store. So if you just like to pop over, usual things we've spoken about, categories updated. We seem to get deliveries in daily at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, they're coming in
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
So everything's flooding through. So if we're out of stock of anything, don't forget, pop your name in the little white box and we'll send you a little email to say it's back in stock. And you can click on the link on the email. It'll take you straight to the item as well to save you a little bit of time messing around with it and stuff like that. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Happy modelling. Take care. We will see you all again very soon. Say goodbye, gentlemen. We're out of here.
Bye.
Bye.